Hello, my name is Anthony Goatley, and this is Scouting on Air, the first official television program about the scouting movement today. Welcome to Season 2. On this month's episode, we'll be taking a look at DBRA's STEM Weekend, and we'll be taking a closer look at axes, and ending it with an exclusive interview with the BSA's national artist, Suzanne Norris. Thank you so much for joining us. Now we'll head up to Metamora for DBRA Scout Ranch's STEM Weekend.
Ottawa District's 2023 STEM Olympics took place at DBRA Scout Ranch in Metamora, Michigan this winter. Scouts from across southeastern Michigan gathered to participate in a number of experimental activities and science experiments.
There was a bunch of copper stickers, and we had to follow the lines and the copper stickers, and we put these little lights on them, so when the copper goes over the lights, and we put the battery there, and we put a clip on the battery. So when you press on the battery, it works.
Since 1950, DBRA Scout Ranch has been providing quality scouting experiences for scouts, schools, and other groups from southeastern Michigan and around the Midwest. DBRA is located about an hour north of Detroit, Michigan. The ranch consists of just under 1,800 acres of breathtaking wilderness, 3 spring-fed lakes, a herd of horses, longhorn cattle, and other livestock, 28 heated cabins with kitchens, a large central kitchen, 3 dining pavilions, and 11 tent sites. Program facilities include 32-foot climbing tower, bouldering wall, 2 shooting sports areas to accommodate BB guns, archery, slingshot, rifles, shotgun, pistols, and muzzleloaders, 2 fire bowls, fishing, an observatory, several nature centers, and 11 miles of Pedro hiking trail system. The DBRA Scout Ranch 2023 weekend programs consist of horseback riding, shooting sports, swimming, boating, climbing, astronomy, and more.
A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. This afternoon, we have the honor of recognizing Michaela for her accomplishment of the rank of Eagle Scout, but also her contributions to Troop 366 as a founding member. Congratulations, Michaela.
The Eagle Scout Court of Honor is an occasion for pride and joy, as well as a time for serious reflection. The Eagle is the highest recognition a Scout can achieve, and is an honor recognized throughout the world. To earn the highest rank in Scouting, a Scout spends a great deal of time living and learning in the outdoors, working on advancement, serving their community, and gaining leadership skills. And while many Scouts begin this journey, only a small percentage receive this high honor.
To earn the highest rank in Scouting, a Scout must spend a great deal of time and effort. When a youth becomes a Scout, there is something within them that we call the spirit of Scouting. Because the spirit of Scouting embodies the principles of the Scout oath and law, it becomes a shining beacon of inspiration. Alone, this light may seem feeble, but when multiplied by more than 3.5 million youth in the Scouting around the world, it is powerful indeed. After a youth enters Scouting, the Scout law that they promise to obey begins to guide their life. One by one, using the flame from the spirit of Scouting, we shall light the symbols for each part of the Scout law.
To me, taking care of the environment is what we are called to do. It was very important to me that I would be able to teach children about why they should do this and how they can do it. So for my project, I worked with the Mid-Michigan Children's Museum in Saginaw to build an exhibit on the seven principles of Leave No Trace, the outdoor code, and solar energy. I decided that I wanted to do something that would last and that could be seen by children in our community. because honestly, the future of our world depends on these children, and if we don't teach them how to take care of it, it's not going to be here for their children.
So I posted on Facebook asking if anybody made quilts. I spoke up like I normally do before I think about it and said, I do. So Michaela, this is for you. I wasn't sure I could take this on, and it's been quite the journey for myself to get this done. After talking to your mom, oh my gosh, talking to her mom all the time, I'm pretty sure that I not only confused myself, but confused her. And I knew that I wanted to tell a story. I want to tell a story that you had a huge goal of going to all the 50 states and earning at least one badge. Then seeing your progress from Cub Scouts to Boy Scouts, I knew I wanted to tell this story. I wanted to not just show your trail to Eagle, but the story of your badges. It took me many changes, many layouts, many frustration and some tears, but I think I came up with what I wanted. It actually starts in the top corner, and it starts with her Cub Scouts, and then it's all of her Eagle, all of her Boy Scout ranks, and on the other side is her states and the badges that she earned in those states. This quilt, Michaela, has not only been a labor of love, but along the way I learned a lot more about you and about Boy Scouts. I hope that when I'm gone, that you will remember your aunt that made this quilt, that she loved you and only wanted the best for you. Gosh, darling, congratulations, honey.
Next, our axe review.
Welcome to the gear review segment of Scouting on Air. I am Jesse, the gear guy, and here I have two hatchets that I picked up. This one here is from Joe's Army Navy. This is going to be the option that you could pick up from the sponsored Joe's Army Navy. And then over here we just have a more basic hatchet. This one is going to be from Harbor Freight. So these two compare because they are the same size and they were roughly the same price. So right here, this is going to be the one that I have from Harbor Freight. This one was around $10, and this is going to be readily available anywhere. The other one here I have is from Joe's Army Navy. This one's going to be around $17, and this one is from Joe's Army Navy. So I did two different tests. The first test was going to be the chop from the top of the wood. This was going to simulate when you're trying to split wood for a campfire, and I compared both of these. The second one was a chop from the side. That's where I took the wood, I put it on its side, I chopped it right in the middle, and I tried to test if it would break in half to simulate if you were chopping down a tree. So the first test, I started with the Harbor Freight hatchet. This one, it took a couple swings because I wasn't the greatest at swinging, but then once it hit, it did chisel off the wood. So this one would be a great option for chopping wood if you were to chop it for a campfire. The one from Joe's Army Navy, I also tried this one, and it actually performed better. I would say that the one from Joe's Army Navy was sharper, and it only took one slice to split it completely in half. The second test was when I cut it from the middle. When I chopped from the middle with the Harbor Freight axe, it took about 2 tries, but that's because it was in mud, and it did get all the way through the wood. The test from the Joe's Army Navy hatchet, that one took only 1 or 2 hits for the wood to break in half. So I would definitely say that the one from Joe's Army Navy was stronger when it came to splitting the wood in half. So one major thing that happened to the Harbor Freight axe that was a downside is if I were to remove this protective covering, you could tell that the metal and the sharp blade edge, it did start to roll a little bit. That means that the front of the metal, which is the sharp part, it did start to fold over while it was hitting the wood. So that is definitely one of the downsides, I would say, with the Harbor Freight axe. You're going to get a lot more wear on this one because it is slightly cheaper, but I would definitely say that it did work. So for the final review, I'm going to start off with the hatchet from Harbor Freight. So if I pick it up here, you can tell that the handle is going to be slightly cheaper. It is definitely just one piece of plastic, and it is going to be made up of only plastic. It isn't attached to the top very well. You can tell that it is just also a little bit of plastic. So Harbor Freight is going to be definitely a cheaper alternative, so if you don't have as much money, this one is definitely going to be a great option. It does chop and it does slice right in half the wood. The one from Joe's Army Navy, I would say that the handle, it definitely is of better quality. It has rubber. It even has this little loop right here, which I think the other one did too. It has it's a wider head. So if you were to compare it to the other one, you can tell that the head is slightly wider, so you have more of a strike surface. It definitely is attached to the head better right here, and the handle just feels way better of a quality. It also has a very nice color. The green gives it a nice accent while you're outside. I would definitely say that the Joe's Army Navy axe is worth it because it is a couple dollars more, but I would say that it is way, way better quality than the other one, and it is a good deal for its money. It looks better, it has a way better handle, it has better quality metal, and the edge, it definitely did not roll, and it cut all the wood with only one slice. So thank you to Joe's Army Navy for sponsoring, especially in the second season. That is helping us out a lot, so thank you, Joe's Army Navy. And we will catch you guys on the next gear review. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back. Our next guest is the BSA's official artist, Mrs. Norris. So, Mrs. Norris, you have a very unique position in the Boy Scouts. What did you do before you were the BSA's national artist, and what did you do to get this position?
Well, before I was the national artist, I've been an artist professionally since I was 21 years old. So I was a painter for most of my life. I did a lot of sporting art, equine art, wildlife stuff. And then I got into sculpture about 15 years ago. So I've done all that. And then when I got involved with Philmont, it was basically an idea I had for the Seton Museum at the time, which was before the National Scouting Museum was here at Philmont. So I had an idea for 3 large sculptures, and I just went to them and proposed the idea. They weren't asking for it. They weren't looking for it. I just thought, this is a guy that should be honored. And a year later, I had a contract to do it.
That's wonderful.
And so that's how I got involved. Yeah, that's how I got involved. I proposed an idea that I believed in and talked to the right people. And a year later, I had the contract to do the 3 large sculptures.
That's amazing.
So that's how that began. And then as far as the national artist position, that was because I'd had, at that point, 3 years of working with them. I had developed a relationship. And so they were looking for somebody to do not just one painting a year, as like Rockwell did or Satari, but to do a lot of other things that would help the BSA and Philmont, BSA in general, with their awards and recognition gifts and things like that, and that sort of thing.
That's really cool. Now, with your works, how much creative freedom do you actually get, or is it more of you're told what to do?
I have a lot of creative freedom. They give me, we work together on ideas. They have ideas, I have ideas, and then we work together on those. But I have a lot of creative freedom, very, very much so. And again, I still do my own work. I'm not just, I didn't give up my own work and to do this full time. It's like I'm an independent contractor with BSA.
Okay, that's cool. Now, do you have a team working with you? Because I know you do quite a few works with bronze, you do some paintings, along with a couple other stuff. So do you have a team that works with you, or are you a one-woman show?
It's just me, but as far as the bronze work, I do the sculpture, but I have a foundry. I have, a mold maker, I have the foundry. The foundry does all the casting and producing the work. I do the original in clay, and then I give it to a mold maker. The mold maker makes a mold, and the mold goes to the foundry, and there are several people involved in creating a bronze. It's several people. There's, the people who do the waxes, that do the metal chasing, putting everything back together, the patina. So there's a lot of people involved in making a bronze besides just the artist. I do the original in clay, as I said, and then I guess they would be my team. Yeah, I just take it to the foundry. Yeah. But as far as the painting goes, I do all my own, I do my own painting. I frame everything. I have in this shop here, I frame not only my own work, but I frame a lot of the work that all of the work that the museum sells of mine. That's Philmont centric, Philmont related. And when somebody wants to purchase a print, then I will frame it and pack it up to ship.
That's interesting. I didn't realize how much complexities they had with all these sculptures. Now, you succeeded people like Norman Rockwell. How does it feel to follow in those footsteps?
I don't compare myself at all to Norman Rockwell, but there's no way, and Joe Satari, but I feel very honored to be in that position. Also to do different mediums, not just painting. It's nice. And it's an honor. I would say it's an honor. Yes.
Now, has the Boy Scouts influenced your own art in any ways? Your own personal art?
That's a good question. Not really. Maybe a little bit in some things, but no, not really. I do enough work for them that's Boy Scout related, but it has influenced a lot of, I've learned a lot about the Boy Scouts, and I made some very, very good friends through my association with the BSA. Very, very nice people. I've learned a lot through my association, but as far as my work, it really hasn't influenced my work per se.
Okay. Now, you live very close to Philmont. Has that influenced your work at all?
I live close to Philmont, yes. Well, living in Cimarron and I've been in New Mexico 29 years this year. I'm from Ohio originally. So, yeah, I mean, my work is definitely influenced by the area I live in. I mean, we have spectacular sunsets, sunrises, vistas, views, mountains, wildlife. That definitely has influenced my work, yes.
Now, of your pieces, what are some of the ones that you're most proud of?
I'm sorry?
What are some of your works that you're most proud of?
That I've done for BSA?
Or just in general?
Just in general? The piece I'm the most proud of is my military service dog. It's a life-size military service dog. It's a golden retriever, actually. It's in bronze. It's in 4 different locations in the United States. And it's a very emotional piece, and I don't think I'll ever be able to top that as far as the emotion it evokes.
Now, are there any of your works that you're working on that you're especially excited about now? Or anything that's upcoming of yours?
Well, I just delivered, installed a sculpture of the dog from the movie Benji in 1974. You're probably too young to ever have seen that, but it was filmed in 1974 in McKinney, Texas. And I was commissioned by the city of McKinney to do a sculpture of Benji, which is only like 21 inches tall. It's a little dog. And that I was excited about that because it was fun. And I got to know the Joe Camp, who made the movie, which is exciting about that is Hollywood didn't want to talk to him about it. And they brushed him off and blew him off. And yeah, no, never mind. That's stupid. And so he put his own money in of like $500,000 and it made $45 million. I love stories like that. Yeah. Wow. And then there were many movies, more Benji movies after that. But yeah, they just blew him off and said, it's no good. And even the music won an award. I can't remember which award it won, but Charlie Rich from those days, he did the music for the movie and they thought that was a hokey song. It's he believed and he had a dream and he went with it. So yeah, I was real excited about that. That's the one I just finished. The next one I have coming up, I'm doing a rabbit. I do humorous work as well. So I'm doing a 3 foot to 4 foot tall, depending on what they decide on, bronze rabbit eating ice cream.
Okay.
And it's going to be going to Denver. Yeah. So that'll be kind of fun.
Yeah, it will be. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I hope to see more of your works and see some of your works around.
When I'm riding BMX, I get up to the line and it's like a rush of adrenaline just right there.
Come and follow me. Hey. Hey.
So the gate goes down and you just push on that pedal as hard as you can, and you pump and then you try to get as much air off as you can without crashing. And the biggest thought in my mind is don't crash whatever you do. When you take the burns, you lean with it basically, and it's just like the coolest feeling ever because of all the weight that's pushing you against the burn. Your knees want to go down, but you have to force them back up. And when you finish, it's just like, I want to go do it again.